Yo, what's cracking, guys? I got a mod saw, and it's the deluxe version to be exact. Came out early July, so it's fairly new. So just to let you guys know, I am amateur at best. I just got into arrow building, and I've been shooting archery for a couple years now. I did it when I was a lot younger, and then I put it down for probably 15 years. And then a couple years ago, bought another bow, got back into it. But I would always just buy arrows from whatever archery store that I would go to, and I would just have them cut down my arrows. And when I first started, I didn't even know what length I actually needed. So now I'm getting down into the actual arrow length that works best for me, with also considering the weight. But when I'm done building these arrows, they're like super short. They look like little crossbow bolts. So I got little arms. All right, so the Modsaw Deluxe kit, what all comes in the box? This isn't really a box opening. Obviously I already opened it, and I did build a couple arrows with it already just to check it out. But the mod saw comes already pre-assembled, which is super nice. And it does come with some spare parts in a bag. And you get extra sandpaper. You get this little piece for your arrow rest. If you don't want to use the knock style, you can unscrew that. I'll show you in a little bit, but you can screw this piece in, and then that's if you want to take your knock out of the arrow when you're cutting it, and then it'll rest on here. Show you that in a little bit. And then it does come with another little piece that slides into the aluminum extrusion so that you can bolt it down. And there's already another one on there, but they come with an extra one. So you can screw it down to your bench top or whatever you're working on if you want. I don't know if I will do that. Maybe at some point. I really honestly... Careful there, bud. But honestly, like, I probably won't build that many arrows per year. I really honestly only seeing myself building maybe 6, something like that, maybe a year. But it was just I was super interested in building my own arrows. So if anybody knows me, they know that I kind of hyper fixate on hobbies and, you know, outdoor life stuff. And that's just how I've been for a long time. So once I started looking into building arrows, I started looking at saws, and there's a few really good ones out on the market. There's some cheaper ones on Amazon, and I almost went the cheap Amazon route. And then I saw a mod saw. I wasn't going to spend the money on it. But then I was thinking about it for like probably 2 weeks. And finally I'm just like, screw it. I'm going to pull the trigger on it. Even if I don't use it a lot. I'm sure some buddies would want to borrow it, or they want me to build them some arrows or something. So I have the stuff to do it, which is awesome. Really excited. But also, sorry, get back on track. Also in the bag, there is another cutting blade. So if the one that's in there wears out, you got another one. And I do believe it's a diamond. Let me see once. Yes. So it's 1.5 inch diameter, diamond coated. So it's like an abrasive. So as your arrow goes in and you spin it to cut, you can use the coating on there to kind of square up your arrow after the cut. So the motor is 11,000 RPM, and it is super quiet, which is awesome because I got kids, and I can be down in the basement not making a lot of noise, and I can fire this thing up, and if they're taking naps or whatever, it's not going to wake them up, which is really super awesome. But yeah, let's get into it. I'll show you a little bit about this saw. All right, guys, Here's a little overview of this bad boy. So it is an aluminum extrusion, and then it does have 3D printed, like this end cap here is 3D printed. It's got holes in it so you can bolt it down or screw it down. The arrow rest is 3D printed, and there's a little piece inside there. I don't know if you can see it. Right inside there, and there's a bearing in there, and that spins on your knock, like as you're turning your arrow. There's a bearing in there that'll spin. It does come with an arrow spinner, and these are ceramic bearings for the deluxe kit. I think the standard kit does not have the ceramic bearings. And I was kind of skeptical on this. I wasn't sure how well it was going to spin, but it actually spins super awesome. I don't know if you can guys hear that. But the bases for those are 3D printed. And then there's a little stabilization leg there. And all these parts move. So you can put them wherever you want. It's like super modular, which is super slick. And then it's got a little straightness indicator. When you put your insert in or your broadhead, you can make sure that it's spinning nice and straight. And then those extra pieces of sandpaper, like I was telling you guys, go in there. And that's after you make the cut. You can adjust your spinner, and then you can square the cut as you spin it. That sandpaper will square your cut, which you don't really need to do because, like I was saying, that abrasive wheel pretty much squares it really good already. But I would recommend squaring it afterwards. It doesn't take that long. It has an arrow rest here. So when you put your arrow into this, you want it to rest onto here as you're bringing it in and cutting it. Here's the motor housing, which is also 3D printed. They actually really did a good job of the 3D printing. Like, it doesn't seem chintzy, it doesn't seem like it's going to break. Seems really good. You got your power button down here. I'll let you guys hear how loud this thing is. It's not bad. Pretty good. 11,000 RPMs. I also forgot to tell you guys, in the bag with all the extras, it does have a shop vac adapter, and that goes back here. So you just screw that on. Just like that. And then you can put your hose, your vacuum hose. Because you'd probably, I mean, you should use that as you're cutting your arrows so you're not breathing in that carbon dust. If you guys see me not using that, I apologize. I'm probably not going to hook it up. The extrusion is scaled. So it's got your inches there. And then the arrow rest has a little indicator so you know where you're cutting. But be warned, not all nocks are the same. So if you use this knock holder and you set this at 26 or 26 and an eighth or whatever it's at, your carbon to carbon may not be exactly that. So you're going to want to take a quick measurement when you go to set that up, just so you're aware. I have not tested the square piece that I was saying that was in here. That's where you would unbolt the knock spinner with that screw down there. You back that out, you put the other piece in, and then you can pull your knock out, pull that bad boy off, and then you can set it in there. That might be more true on that indicator, but just be warned. Make sure you're checking it with your tape measure. Let's cut an arrow. I do have some arrows here. These are my old arrows. They do have an insert, small insert glued in. I'm not going to cut off of this side because I'm just going to keep this insert in. I'm going to cut it off where the fletchings and knock goes. I'm just going to cut it a little bit shorter. And then because of that, I already have this measured out that I'm going to just rest this where the knock spinner goes. I already tried it, works good. So you put that bad boy in the holder right there, and then make sure, see how that arrow flexes? See that? So you want to have your holder up here, and you want to not be spinning like way back here, otherwise you're going to get an unsquare cut. So I'm just going to kind of hold it there, and then make sure I'm pushing back, and I'm just going to spin it. That's it. Done. Super quiet. And then, like I was saying, you can put her on your spinner, and you can move these around. So I'm going to square this thing up. I'm going to move these up so they're a little closer together. You can lock them in. Didn't tell you that, guys, either, but there's little thumb screws on every single one of these pieces that you can, once you get it set, you can lock it in. Boom, just like that. There it is. Man, that's awesome. So then push her into your square. Yeah, that cut is like super square. Let's see if I can show you. Oh yeah. So the cool thing about this saw is it has things on it that you don't need to buy extra. If you want to buy an arrow spinner extra, I mean you could, but this one works actually really good, way better than I thought. So what's an arrow spinner, like 40 bucks, 50 bucks? You can probably find one cheaper than that, but it already comes on the saw, which is super awesome. And then it also has a cut square tool on it. So then you don't have to buy an extra one of those either. I think I seen one on the market for like 50 bucks. So the price on this was $209. If I would have bought a different saw, like even like the cheaper Amazon one for like 70 bucks or whatever, I would have bought the squaring tool for 50. And then I also would have bought arrow spinner for 40 or 50 bucks. So, you know, you're adding on another 100. So with the cheap one, I would have been at like 170, 180 bucks anyways. So an extra $30, I started thinking about it like that. I'm like, I might as well just get this saw. This thing is sick. And I'm only spending $30 more. So super cool. I highly recommend it. I've built 5 arrows already. I'm gonna be building some rip TKOs. So if you want to see that video, I will link it up here. Yeah, probably up here somewhere. On the rip TKO build. So check that out. Let me know what you guys think. One last thing I forgot to show you guys, and I'll do that real quick here, is the straightness or the indicator to see. You can put a broadhead in or a field point, and there's a little line on it, so you can see how true everything's running. Move this really quick. Just unscrew that. Bring it back a little bit. Got my broadhead on there. A sick G5 Montech. What you guys know about that? Yeah, just kidding. Put that on the spinner. You can line that up. Let's see. Not bad. Super neat. Check it out. Modsaw Deluxe kit. Highly recommend. We'll get another arrow real quick. Heck yeah, man.